YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Patio TCG here with a quick little deck profile for y'all. Deck that I've been kind of cooking up since the release of the Fiendsmith cards. It is Unchained Fiendsmith. Fiendsmiths are obviously fiends in the level 6s, so they let you make Yama a little bit easier without needing to stick your Shavara underneath it. They give you pretty insane endboard potential with just like a free Appaloosa. They're solid follow-up. They have pretty cool synergy with the deck. Something I kind of want to just try out. So I will stop taking any more of your time and let's get right into the deck profile. Okay, we are back with the deck. So we'll jump into the main deck first. Best normal summon is still definitely Tour Guide. Lets you do, the entire combo, gets you into Unchained and Fiendsmith stuff. Automatically 2 bodies, demands a hand trap as well, so it's a pretty good way to just bait for Imperm Ash, anything like that, and then any other extender. Because it's a fiend, you can generally play through 1 hand trap, so it's pretty solid there. The Unchained cards run 3 Aruha. This part isn't as standard. 3 Rikea. You just want ways to play. It's a 2-card combo deck, and the Fiendsmith engine kind of makes it so you don't have the space to play Prosperity. So you need to be able to see a combination of like any 2 of these, or this plus Shavara, this plus a trap. You just need a few different ways to your 2-card combos, because Prosperity doesn't let you dig for the 1-card combos. And we can't play the DDD engine as well, because it's just like way too bricky. You just like don't really have enough space to play those cards feasibly and also fit like a decent amount of non-engine. And then 1 Sarama, the best one for the grind game, but the worst one to draw because it doesn't do anything. 1 Shavara RIP, 1 Shyama, definitely the worst one to draw. And then 1 Unchained Soul, Abominable Unchained Soul. This one you can like kind of play with. It's like a weird extender. You can like draw it with any of these, pop something, chain block a trap. It's weird, but it's helpful. It's also just like an extra interrupt on your opponent's turn to summon it out of the deck or summon it from your hand or from the graveyard, etc. Not too bad. It's a good card. But that's it for the Unchained monsters. Fiendsmith engine, 3 Engraver, 1 Lurie, 1 Tract. I don't really think there's much that needs to be said about this. If your deck can play these cards, you should play them, and most decks can play them. Lurie like isn't even the worst to draw on its own. Tract isn't the worst to draw on its own in combination with stuff, and then Engraver's just insane. This engine's really strong, and they have like the extra synergy of all being fiends, so it makes Yama a little bit easier to kind of like bridge the gap to your 2 engines. Last bit of engine is 3 Abominations Prison, 3 Escape, and 3 Chamber. Again, you just want ways to play the game, so 3 of each trap. You could probably argue 2 is okay, but I wanted ways to play, and I wanted to add some extra cards to my deck to lower the chances of me drawing the really bad cards to draw. So 3 of each. Then it makes siding easier. It's just 2 free cards you can side out each time, or sometimes it's even 3 you can side out each time. That's it for engine. The non-engine is 3 Ash because it's the most generic hand trap, 3 Nib because I think this might be the best hand trap, 4 Bestials because every deck has Light and Darks. The Fiendsmith cards are everywhere. Double Druis because, Druis plus Baldrake does extra stuff. Druis plus Mag, you get both live. I just wanted to play more names of Bestials instead of like 1 and 3, so my 2 Bestial hands are live more often than not. And then 3 Imperm, again, similar to Ash, it's generic, good 6 card, doesn't play into talents. Don't think there's much that needs to be said about Imperm. It's just always been pretty good. Last 4, speaking of talents, 3 Thrusted of Talents. This card's especially good, not this one. This card is especially good in Unchained because if they hand trap you, you can just activate it, set a trap, and if you have any way to pop it, lets you keep playing. So it's really strong in that sense. Yeah, and then, I mean, the more spells and traps you play in the deck, the more, like, ways you have to play out of awkward hands with stuff that you can set. That's the whole main deck, 45 cards. Feels like a little bit much, but I don't know, you just kind of, like, you need ways to play the game, and you don't want to draw as many of the new bricks and garnets and things like that the deck plays. So I think 45 is fine. You can probably argue cutting down. There's 3 or 4 cuts you can make, but I'm playing it at 45 and I like it so far. So that's that. TBD on how we play moving forward. Moving into the extra deck, you've got the standard stuff, just for the Fiendsmith package, the 1 Requiem, 1 Moon, 1 Sequence. That's all you need. You just keep recycling your resources between Sequence and Engraver. You've always got plays that you can make with those. 2 Yama, I kind of wish you could play 3, but you just can't. I was a pretty firm believer in 3 in the old deck, but yeah, I just don't have the space. I made space for 2 Solar Rage. Bestials are everywhere. This getting Bestialed feels horrible. It's like one of your best interrupts, and also it's like pretty solid follow-up, like when you pop it with your Sarama in the combo, or like bring it back, pop it on your opponent's turn with something. Shifter's also a card. You just want to have access to this at all times, and 1 just didn't really feel like enough, so 2 feels solid. The SP to make Koth fit on your opponent's turn, so it turns itself into like 2 to 3 interruptions if everything goes according to plan. Not always the case, but we're thinking about the most it can do, not the least. Bare minimum, it's 2. Anguish to make on your opponent's turn to help push through boards. A little better than this, just in the sense that it can also link off normal summon monsters, but it's not a quick effect, so there's some give and take. Appaloosa, this card's really broken, probably should get banned, probably will get banned, so this is a flex spot in a weird way. Access code, using Anguish to make an access code on your opponent's turn, 5300 attack, and it steals one of their bodies. What's not to love? Abomination, there are some hands where like this plus a trap, and then some stuff in the grave, obviously, is your end board, and it's generally good enough to get there. It's like a few interruptions. It makes pushing for game a lot easier. There's some interesting lines you can do with like this thing plus one of the little twins. Like you crash, summon big guy out of the deck. This effect pop something. Big guy effect pop something. Attack for 6,000. It's a solid card. Obviously it synergizes with the engine pretty well. It's the boss monster. Doesn't make sense to not play it. That's it for the links. 2 fusions, just Lacrima and Necroquip Princess. Area Leader I could not find a use for in this deck at all, so I didn't play it. Lacrima's Lacrima, it's a free rank 6 or free link 2 on top of the full Fiendsmith combo, burns your opponents, so you have a game plan for time. The Fiendsmith stuff is like really, really stupid. A lot of these cards are just like absurdly strong. And then just 1 rank 6, just the Caesar. Felt like this deck didn't really need Beatrice. The extra deck was pretty tight, and the Beatrice lines are like pretty few and far between. You'd rather just make Caesar, like if your board is demanding a rank 6, just passing on a Caesar is better than making a Beatrice and like playing further and further into stuff like Nib, where this deck already loses pretty hard to it. I just didn't really think it was worth playing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Beatrice will come in the deck later. Be interested to hear down in the comments any success anybody else that's playing this list has had with Beatrice. The only lines I can think of are like, Beatrice dump Shavara to get access to a trap, but doesn't really feel that great. But I could be wrong. That is the whole deck. Everything's right there. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in a combo tutorial or anything like that. There's a couple combos, like the 1 card Tour Guide combo, or like Fiendsmith plus an Unchained Spell Trap, or like any of the other combos. I have a couple I've cooked up that I would love to share with you all. So just let me know if you want to see those. All right, cool. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.